back to throw it again, looking to his right. Dumps it off. Sure, it's intercepted. Amari Coleman's going to have a pick six and end the ball game as he walks into the end zone.
Another in-state opponent for Central Michigan and another win. The Chippewas this time took down Eastern Michigan 42-30 at Kelly Short Stadium on Wednesday. The Michigan MAC Trophy now coming back to Mount Pleasant. We'll give you the highlights next on Chippewa Rewind.
Just heard that another factory got shut down.
Welcome into Chippewa Rewind with head coach John Bonamigo. I'm Adam Jacksa. Another emotional and huge win for your team on Wednesday, Coach. You take down Western Michigan, an in-state rival last week. This time, and just 7 days later, you have to play Eastern Michigan, and your team finds a way again. How are they able to do it?
Well, I think we had a really good week of preparation. You know, it's tough when you come off an emotional win like we had last week down in Kalamazoo. You know, to play two rivalry games essentially back-to-back it's a huge challenge. I had concerns about whether or not we would be able to, you know, repeat that level of intensity and how we would, you know, if we would have any type of hangover after the Western victory. I thought our seniors really stepped up, especially late in the week, really stressing the importance, re-emphasizing the things that myself and the rest of the coaches were trying to point out, that this was going to be a tough game, that Eastern was a quality opponent, and that we couldn't look at their record. You can't judge them by the record. The game started off not so well. Turned our way, we hung on, and you know, they kind of battled their way back into it, and then we found a way to win it at the end. But you know, once we took the lead, we kept the lead throughout the game, and it's a very satisfying win, a very important win for our program. And you know, now it's on the back burner, and we go back to work tomorrow night and start to set our sights on Kent State, because we've got a short week to prepare and go on the road to try to get another win.
Well, let's take you inside Kelly Short Stadium on Wednesday. It was chilly out in the 30s, but your team comes out of the locker room. You get the football first, and as you said it, I don't think you can start worse than that night. You give them a touchdown here.
We actually had a really good play called here. Tyler Conklin was uncovered down the field. We go a little bit too low on the cut block on the defensive end. He makes an athletic move, jumps over the cut, and is able to get a hit on Shane. Ball comes out, and they're able to scoop and score.
Yeah, that would be their only touchdown until very late in the first half. It's 7-0 Eastern Michigan. We move to about 5 minutes left in the first quarter. This seemed to give your offense a spark as Mark Chapman's open down the field.
Yeah, this is, again, a great job, clean pocket. We've got Mark down the middle of the field on a skinny post. He's able to get behind the safety there, and Shane just throws just a perfect pass in there, and great catch by Mark, and now we're knocking on the door for a score.
How about Shane Morris here, Coach? Creates for a little bit longer and gives Conklin an opportunity to get open.
Yeah, this is a great job. I mean, he uses his legs. Conk's able to uncover in the back of the end zone. Shane's able to find him, throws a strike in there, catch, and a score. Not the way we drew it up, but you know, you'll take improvisation sometimes when you need to make a play, and that's just an example of two guys making a play.
So we're all tied at 7 at Kelly Short Stadium. Your defense quickly gets a stop. As you mentioned, they were great in that first half. And how about the 2-week stretch for Jonathan Ward? Here's a career rush for him, 79 yards, and he's into the end zone.
Yeah, this is a great job overall. I want to point out 2 key blocks, though, here as he breaks in the open field. He gets a block there by Shane Morris on the perimeter, on the backer pursuing inside out. He also picks up a great block on the slot defender there by Corey Willis. And again, it's those downfield blocks make a difference. That's the difference between this being a first down run, or 15, 20-yard explosive play and a touchdown. So he picks up 2 huge blocks there by 2 seniors, and he's able to take it all the way to the end zone.
14-7, Central Michigan in front. Jonathan Ward back-to-back weeks. He goes over 100 yards rushing. Eastern Michigan does add a field goal to make it 14-10, and then your offense steps up again early in the second. Corey Willis wide open down that sideline.
This was the third play of actually like a speed series here. You know, we got Corey on the wheel route there. The safety jumps, Mark on the post, and again, Shane delivers the ball right in the soft spot there. You know, Willis does a great job of sitting down, and Shane does a nice job of delivering the pass on time.
Well, here's a clutch throw here. 3rd and 9. He really zips this right where it needs to be for Willis, and he's into the end zone.
We get single coverage for the most part on Corey. We were able to hit a double move on the safety there. It was kind of a post-corner post. We call it a Dino route. Corey just knows how to get the guy turned, and Shane sees it, and it's, you know, throws a strike, and it's a touchdown. So just the way we drew it up. Nice job there by everybody.
21-10, Central Michigan with 7 minutes to play in that first half. Coach, 5 interceptions from your team on Wednesday. Sean Bunting came up with 2. He was outstanding throughout the game.
Yeah, Sean's really starting to step up for us. You know, a true sophomore, played last year as a true freshman. Does a nice job of really staying close in coverage there. I wouldn't call it a forced throw, but he really beats the receiver here back to the mesh point, is able to slip inside and makes a great hands catch, takes it away from the receiver for a pick.
Good field position for your team in front, 21-10. And how about the stretch here from Corey? He's just long enough. He gets in the end zone the second time.
We get him here we get him with the shovel pass underneath. He sees a little traffic on the outside. He runs to daylight on the backside of that, stretches into the end zone, and gets the score. So there's another touchdown pass for Shane and another touchdown reception for Corey. As we mentioned, I think a couple weeks ago, those forward flips count as forward passes.
Yeah, that's 7 touchdowns now for Corey Willis, and he's now at 21 for his career, sitting at 4th all-time in receiving touchdowns. One more touchdown, and he ties that guy named Antonio Brown, so he's in pretty good company.
Yes, he is.
28-17, Eastern Michigan does get a late touchdown, but your team in front by 11 points. I know you didn't like giving up that late touchdown, but have to feel pretty good about the way your offense moved the football and going in at the locker room with the lead.
I do. I think, the thing you want to see as a coach is you want to see your team play hard. Mistakes are going to happen throughout the game. That's just part of the game. You don't accept them. You don't plan for them, but you have to absorb them. And you really want to see your team bounce back and just continue to fight, scratch, and claw and play hard. And I think of how we've been playing recently. I think that's the thing that I'm most proud of, is just how our team's competing.
All right, well, we'll take a look at the second half when we come back. And later on, Corey Willis sits down with us to tell us about his time coming to Central Michigan and now playing for the Maroon and Gold.
I remember when I was looking at schools, my dad told me that when I found the right one, I would definitely know, and it was going to be a feeling. And when I was here, it felt like home. And the people here, they felt like family. And I remember being in the bookstore, and I was picking out all this apparel, but I was like, what, do you think you're coming here or something? I was like, matter of fact, I think I am.
I would like to say thank you so much for all of your support and donations that you've given to our university over the course of the years. We look forward to making you proud on and off the field, not only the football team, but all of the athletic programs at our university, and we promise to make you proud.
I'd like to personally thank you for your support and investment in Central Michigan athletics. Your generosity allows our student athletes to compete on a national level, academically, athletically, and personally. Once again, thank you for your support, and fire up Chips.
Welcome back to Chippewa Rewind as we start the second half. Your team in front, 28-17. We mentioned earlier 5 interceptions, and this young man has 5 interceptions by himself this season. Nearly had a pick 6, but will settle for 1st and goal.
Great job by Josh here. Really great job by the entire defense. The quarterback is under duress, gets flushed out of the pocket here. Josh is able to jump the route, and we do a great job of transitioning from defense to offense here. One of our rules is we want to try to get the ball up the near sideline. You see him pick up a couple key blocks there as guys go next level. Nonetheless, it was a great play, sets us up really at point-blank range for another go-ahead score.
Jonathan Ward punches it in for his second. The Chippewas are in front 35-17, and Coach, that's 16 interceptions for your team this season. That's third best in the country. Your defensive backs have been very active throughout this year.
Yeah, we've done a good job on the back end, and again, I always say it goes hand in hand. You don't get many picks unless you've got a good pass rush, and so, with Mitch Standizak, Joey Osman, Mike Dana, Brisson Fast, Chris Canavelos, DeAndre Dill, all those guys on the defensive line. Again, secondary doing an excellent job, but you also got to credit that front as well.
Well, Coach, you mentioned this in your presser on Wednesday night. You gave credit to Eastern Michigan. They're down 35-17, and they didn't go anywhere. They get a couple of touchdowns. Here they pulled it within 5 with 7:24 to go in the fourth.
Yeah, I mean they're playing literally for their lives. They're in a single elimination tournament. You knew that they were going to come in and play exceptionally hard. And, we helped them a little bit. Both of their scoring drives were aided by penalties on our part. We need to do a better job in that area, but again, you have to credit Eastern Michigan in the fight and determination of their football team.
Instead of 35-32, it remains 35-30. Now, this was an interesting play. Really weird for everyone to watch. 1:14 left in the game. It's 3rd and 1. You need a first down. They only have one timeout left, and everybody stopped. What happened on this play?
Well, everyone, including our coaches on the sideline and players on the field, thought they heard a whistle. You could see both sides there kind of stop, and, I just assumed that Eastern Michigan had called a timeout prior to the snap. It's just one of those things, there's no explanation for it right now. And so I'm just really happy, relieved that it didn't cost us the game. I mean, at that point right there, if we're able to convert a first down, we pretty much take away any chance they have of winning the football game.
Well, a game like Wednesday, it seemed like it was going to be won with your defense. They get 5 interceptions, and they save the best for last. Your senior captain gets a pick 6 to wrap it up.
Yep, and again, good pass rush there. Amari's jumps the under route there. So, we've got Apsey on top of it, and he jumps the under. I don't think the quarterback even saw him, throws the ball. Amari picks it and takes it in for the score.
5 interceptions for your defense. There's the pick 6 at the end, and it wasn't pretty in that second half, but you guys find a way, and that's what's most important. 3 straight victories for your team now, and you guys are bowl eligible and get that trophy back in Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, and I think it's important for all of us to realize that bowl eligibility doesn't necessarily mean bowl guarantee. So we by no means are satisfied. We're not done. We still have 2 regular season games to play. A big one coming up on a short week down at Kent State, a team that traditionally plays great defense, and they've found some offensive rhythm here lately. And so we're going to have a great week of preparation, and then we'll have a final home game the day after Thanksgiving at home, which will be the last time our players, for our seniors, at Kelly Short. So still a lot of football to be played, a lot to play for. It's interesting as you look at the MAC race with, Ohio, beating Toledo. You just never know what's going to happen here. So it's important for us to stay focused, stay hungry, and keep playing.
Well, Coach, and we remember last year Kent State came in, they weren't doing very well, and they won by a field goal at your place. So an important game that I'm sure you want some revenge in that one.
Well, I'm certainly one I haven't forgotten, and I know I don't think our team has either, and I will make sure that they haven't forgotten that one.
All right, Coach. Well, when we come back, we'll look ahead to Kent State, and of course, we've got Corey Willis, one of the most energetic and personable guys on that football team. We'll hear from the senior right after this. Come out and support Central Michigan in their next home game on Friday, November 24th. The Chippewas welcome in the Northern Illinois Huskies to Kelly Short Stadium. Game time is still to be determined, and it's the last home game of the season, so claim your seats before it's too late. You can purchase tickets by visiting Ticket Central, calling 1-888-FIRE-UP2, or by visiting cmuchippewas.com. Once again, we hope to see you at Kelly Short Stadium on November 24th for the final regular season game against Northern Illinois. Kickoff is to be determined.
Shane has it. Drops back. Western Michigan rushes 4. Shane has time. Looking deep down the field for Willis, and he's got it! And he's off to the races! 30, 20, 10, 5, save! Central Michigan touchdown, Corey Willis, and the Chippewas take the lead.
When I came here, it just seemed so natural. It seemed so like this is where I was supposed to be. And it was one of the only teams in the MAC that I actually knew before I started getting recruited. You know, they had Antonio Brown before me when I was a young guy, and I remember seeing his punt returns. And Titus Davis, he was making a lot of noise when I was in high school. So, you know, me just wanting to be a playmaker and me wanting to make a name for myself, I just felt like it was best for me to go somewhere that already kind of had a great tradition that I could kind of piggyback off of.
After years of working to be a standout for the Chippewas, nothing could prepare Corey for what would come in just the second game of his senior season.
Late in the third quarter, just to get hit on a silly late hit, you know, and my hand was kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time. When they say broken hand, you're expecting the season's over, 6-7 weeks. I didn't have to have any surgery, so it was really just me being left-handed for 5 weeks. That was the toughest thing. Writing left-handed, you know, trying to take a shower and scrubbing your armpit left-handed, trying to scrub your left armpit with your left hand. So that was the toughest thing about it. But once I got back on the field, it was just, it just seemed natural. You know, I've been doing this for so long that it's just like getting back on the field for me is just going home for some people. So I came back in 3 weeks and I wasn't necessarily fully ready to go. I was definitely a little nervous playing Ohio, but that Ball State game, it was like a gorilla hopping off your back. So once I got in the end zone once, I'm thinking I'm done. You get in there twice and it's like, okay, thank you God. You get in there 3 times and it's like, oh my gosh, Shane, I appreciate everything you do, because you know, it just felt good to get back in that mode.
In CMU's last game at Western Michigan, Willis had his first opportunity to wear Derek Nash's number 21 jersey. This was a special moment for Corey after how close him and Derek were before he passed away.
So I've never really been the emotional guy, but this week was definitely different. You know, this was a guy that before we even came in, we were having conversations on Facebook about how we were going to change the program. And I had multiple conversations with him about what we can do to get to our goal of being in the NFL. And so when I got here and he wasn't here, you know, I got here and he was already fighting his battle, you know, just to see him come back and actually get to play in the spring and actually, you know, compete. You didn't really see a guy that had leukemia. You seen one of the guys that was fighting for a starting job. I wanted to do so well just for him, you know. I wanted to have this number 2 years ago. I've been waiting for this for so long. So just to get that number in that big of a game, just because I knew that he was looking at me from above. But, you know, it was a couple plays in that game that I wasn't necessarily looking at the ball when it was coming in my hands. You know, Shane was throwing great passes, and they were just coming in my hands almost like he was up there putting the ball in my hands, you know. And when you look at the game-winning touchdown, I'm like batting the defender down with one hand, and the ball just so happened to fall in my left hand, like he placed it there, you know. So I always tell guys that was all D Nash, you know. If I didn't have that number on, if I didn't have number 21 looking above me, you know, I doubt any of that would have happened. You know, I feel like he was definitely with us that day.
In his final season for the Chippewas, Willis reflects on everything that Central Michigan has done for him.
I think Central Michigan was just great for me just to grow up, you know, and realize that it is more than football, you know. Even if I do go to the NFL, it's only a short glimpse of time that I will be in there, you know. For me, it was almost like I almost ruined my opportunity because I didn't take school seriously in high school. So for me, I just want to be, once my football playing days are over, I want to kind of find my place in somewhere with high school kids that I can kind of influence to do better than I did. You know, make sure their grades are intact, make sure they do have a plan B. Just because you working on a plan B doesn't mean that you not putting everything into plan A. You know, so that's one thing that I kind of regret about what I did, but once I get done playing, I feel like that's kind of my calling, what I need to be doing in life.
Coach, I don't know if there's more of a character on your team than Corey Willis, but wow, the way that he's grown up since his freshman season to now in his final year with the Chippewas, it's been really fun watching his growth.
You know, that's one of the most satisfying things about coaching at the college level. Frankly, it's one of the things that I missed during my years in the NFL, is to watch the growth of individuals as they go through your program and see how they mature. And you know, Corey's a great example of that. You know, I'm really proud of him. And, you know, he's a leader, whether he wants to be or not. He's a leader because of his magnanimous personality. He's just such a charismatic guy, and people are drawn to him. They follow him. You know, this is probably the second or third time I've heard him speak about what he wants to do in terms of working with kids. And I think he's got a lot of football in front of him. I really do. I think he's going to have opportunities. But when he ever gets to that point where he does that, I just think he'll have such an impact because of just the life experiences that he's had. And he's just going to be able to relate to kids through his personality. Really excited to watch him finish out his career and what he's able to do over the stretch of his last couple games.
A great football player that's having a terrific year, but a better person as well. Well, you'll need him down at Kent State. Your team goes down to Dick's Stadium on Tuesday, 7 o'clock start. Shortened week for your team, trying to win their 4th straight. Good luck to you guys down there.
Thank you. It's going to be important to have a great week of preparation. There's still a lot to play for, a lot at stake, and as we said earlier, you know, bowl eligible does not mean bowl guaranteed. So I know that Kent State will be prepared. They'll be playing hard. It'll be the last game on their home field for their seniors. So it's going to be important for us to bring a lot of energy and passion to the field again this week.
Your team going for win number 7. We'll break it all down next week on Chippewa Rewind on Thursday. Central Michigan, Kent State, Tuesday at 7 o'clock. For head coach John Bonamigo, I'm Adam Jackson. Have a terrific week and fire up Chips.